Aloha and welcome to Showcase Hawaii, Hawaii's only home shopping show. I'm Wayne Nunez.
I'm Lori Nunez.
We have a great show for you. We're always looking for affordable koa pieces, and our koa, nui kai koa wood paddle comes with a chain.
Yes.
And it's super affordable.
I love this design because
It's simple. Yeah.
And you know, a lot of times you just want something with smooth lines.
Modern.
Yeah. And
affordable.
Right. But you know what's really clever, which I'm sure we'll be able to see later, is the way they position the bail. So they put the bail behind the paddle and string it through. You can't see it. It's so clever.
It looks like it's floating on that rolo chain. Now, it does include the 20-inch rolo chain. A lot of people were asking if it includes a chain.
Which is very nice.
We're also putting it in a gift box. So if you need to give it out as a gift, this is a perfect gift. It's complete.
Well, we get so many requests for gifts for men, gifts for grandsons. I actually had a guy.
This is even a great gift for a woman.
Right. I was just going to say it could go to anyone that wants to wear it.
And
but I did have a guy call and say, hey, you know, I've worked really hard for so many years and I just want to treat myself now, you know, and it makes me think about, you know, we've been doing this barbecue, like, you know, where you go and you cook your own food.
Yes.
And it's funny.
It's more work. And you still have to tip. What's up with that?
No, but I was going to say, in Japan, we had these little cubbies where you just cook for yourself. So you only have to think about yourself, your meal, when you want to cook it, how long you want to cook it.
Yes, because you just focus on yourself.
Right, and it's very, I have to point out, here's the bail on the back side, and it strings through.
Yes.
The roller chain goes through. Look, and from the front side, you can't even see.
No,
it's like magically, how is it holding it up?
And it's about an inch before you finish your story. It's about 1.5 inches.
Right, but I love how the chain ends up being not right at the top, and then you have an extension of a bail.
Yeah, you can still see the handle.
It's kind of like, wow, that's neat. You can see the top of the handle. Anyway, very clever design. So back to really what I'm getting at is focusing on yourself, treating yourself, you know, not having to really think about everyone else. Because you know what that's like sometimes. What am I going to get them? I should get them a gift. What kind of gift am I going to get them? And you get so consumed worrying about all that. So that's my analogy of when you're cooking barbecue for everybody. You know, whether you're in the outside barbecue or the inside barbecue, but you're cooking and cooking for everybody, and then you forget to, you know, even feed yourself or get your own.
If you noticed, almost every story that we tell
is about food.
Yeah, it's back to food.
Sorry, that's local.
In
you know,
fact,
you just
we might have to
that.
take a break and get something to eat in between our stories.
Barbecue. Let's go get barbecue.
Yeah, let's go. Or invite us to a barbecue if you see us on the street.
That's true.
We're happy to come, and we'll bring something too.
So we're talking about how a lot of us are traveling or doing the things we want to do. It's funny because we've been talking to different relatives and friends about, you know, what's retirement like for you, and a lot of them are enjoying it, but some of them are trying to figure out, what do I do next?
Exactly.
You know, after I've done all the things that were kind of on my list.
Pickleball, check. Mahjong, check.
Right.
Travel, check. Now they're sitting there and they're wanting to come over the house. We're like, you need to get yourself a hobby.
Right. And then someone was telling us that, you know, I thought I was going to do all the things, you know, watch all the shows I never got to see, or read the books I never got to read, or whatever, do the things I didn't get a chance to do. But how long does that last, right?
Exactly.
So anyway, we had another friend tell us that, you know, recently the doctor was telling someone they knew that, you know, you should go out and enjoy yourself and do all the things that, you know, you want to do, which kind of like makes you think, oh, wait, what does that mean?
Exactly. Are they telling me something?
Right.
Or are they going to tell me something that I don't want to hear?
But beyond that conversation, what we were then talking about was, you know, regardless of whether you need a second opinion, third opinion, or whatever for a doctor to tell you that, but that's really how you should live your life, right? I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but I'm just saying it's a good...
She tells me all the time.
It's a good
reminder
kind of approach to take do what you want to do, get what you want to get, wear what you want to wear, buy what you want to buy. You know what I mean? Because what are you waiting for? And why work so hard and then not give to yourself or give to the people you love to let them know that, you know, you're thinking of them. You know, you think about it, oh, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. But,
That's
you know,
true.
You don't get around to
Well,
it, right?
it was to the point where this person was not able to do all the things that they wanted to do in the fashion they wanted to do. I mean, they could still do things, but it was at a limited capacity. And they said to us, I wish I would have done it differently.
Well, it's just like if you travel while you're mobile and you can, you know, you can walk everywhere and go everywhere, or, you know, I guess if you wait too long, then traveling's a little bit harder.
Yes.
You know, so I don't know. It just makes me think like, you know, happiness day by day. I mean, just enjoy yourself, treat yourself. And I love that so many of you tell us that this made me so happy. I mean, I'm so grateful that you write and text and email. We just got an email from someone and she said, oh, I gave my granddaughter, you know, jewelry that I had selected from your show and they loved it. They were so happy. And you know, it brought her joy gifting that. And then now the granddaughters are so happy. And we have a customer, Glenn, and he is so generous and he's always thinking about his family and his wife, Ada. And so he's gifted to her and then they've gifted together to their families. And I love it because I know that they're all realizing how special they are to him and in his life. And he's gifting them things that they're going to cherish and enjoy. And he'll even sometimes put special engravings if it's custom so that they know how much he loves them.
It's great. And we get to be a part of that.
I know.
That's why we live Showcase
vicariously.
Hawaii. Exactly. See, other people think about other people and gifting. We just think about food.
No, so, you know, because when you go paddling, you get kind of hungry after.
Yeah, this is making me hungry looking at the paddle. Then I think it's like a string of thoughts. It's the paddle, gifting it to somebody, and then back to the paddle. And I'm thinking paddling, ocean, seafood, fish, sushi, poke, and then barbecue, and then it goes to mac salad, rice, and we're downhill from there because then I have to go into my desserts. But yes, it's on a simple note, our koa wood paddle would make a fantastic gift for any age, any gender.
Yes.
It's lightweight. The great thing about it is the stainless steel rolo chain.
Very comfortable too, right?
It's very wearable, very, very wearable and very comfortable, and it won't tarnish.
Right.
A lot of people ask about tarnishing. This won't tarnish.
Well, especially with guys because they're not so into following
Taking
the
care of
card.
Yes, that's me.
But really, you just have to wipe it down, you know?
Yes.
I mean, maybe you perspire or you have lotion, sunscreen, moisturizer, even whether you're wearing perfume or cologne. So you just want to just give it a quick wipe. It's not a lot of work, you know, to take care of it.
Now, I also want to point out, you were talking about the different features. That integrated bail is really great. But also, on the front side, where the koa is inlaid within the paddle itself, the outline of the paddle, there's a resin coating over the koa that makes it protected. It's about 1.5 inches long, and then if you're wondering, that 20-inch rolo chain is not, you know, manini. It's substantial. It's about 2 millimeters, which you want something like that when you're wearing this. You want it to have a nicer chain.
Right, but like you have always said in the past, you don't want the focus to be the chain.
Right.
You
This
want it to just
integrates well.
complement it. Yeah, it's very complementary. You know what this reminds me of is how a lot of people have paddles as a decorative item in their home. it's similar. You know, it just looks like it's standing, and very, very nice. And I love the accent of the koa wood, which will make every piece unique because of the way the wood grain or the slight differences in the color. It really makes that special. And then of course this is silver plated over brass, which makes it so durable, and again really easy to care for, and at such a great price. We have all of you calling saying you have so many people you have to gift to, of course, as well as treating yourself. And so if that list is quite long, then we know you need it to be within your budget.
Right. And this is, we kept the price down because we wanted it to be, we know how many paddlers are out there and how many people know paddlers.
I love watching.
So,
watching, not doing.
right. Exactly.
No.
You love eating, like me. You're next to me, and we're watching the paddlers
Eating.
while we eat. No, we know that there's a lot of people that either know paddlers or are paddlers themselves.
Right.
And this is a great gift to show your love of paddling. And it's so special because it has that koa inlay, which is a unique item to give, because every piece, every one of these is going to be a one-of-a-kind item, and
Right.
it's going to be special for whoever you give it to, and it's going to last a lifetime. We love our koa wood, and we wanted to bring a new item that's super affordable that you'll be able to get a lot of use out of.
Right.
And this is our Pu'uwa koa wood Hawaiian scroll reversible heart.
Yeah.
It's
I
silver
love it.
plated over brass. It has so many details because on one side is the koa, and the other side, you can see on the flip side, is the Hawaiian scroll. And that's beautifully polished. This is a nice size because
Yes.
you could see it on Lori, but it's about 1 inch wide and 1 inch tall with the bail. And we're pairing it with an 18-inch stainless steel chain.
Right.
But it's something that you could dress up or dress down.
And it's funny because we try to do a variety of different items and different sizes. And sometimes we get people saying, oh, I want something really petite and little. And then other people will say, I want something bigger and more substantial. So we try to make everybody happy. But this is a piece that I know you're going to love because you've got that beautiful koa wood that Wayne was just talking about, and then each one is going to be slightly different with that grain. And then you can see you've got the beautiful scroll design on the back here, and you can see how much that captures the light and how great it looks.
It is that mirrored finish. It really captures the light
Right.
beautifully. Now, you're wearing it, you flipped it over so you could see that scroll
Yeah.
work. But you can see on the front, the koa wood is set within a channel. It's inlaid, and then there's a nice resin coating. It brings out that beautiful grain. You can see there's a thickness to it, and on the back is a nice symmetrical Hawaiian scroll design. You can see it, how much it captures the light. The design is more of a traditional heritage design, if you're wondering, and then the front is just that plain beautiful koa. You don't want too much going on with the koa, because the koa is
Right.
itself
A
the
beautiful
showpiece.
piece,
Yeah, it's different in the fact that every piece of koa has a different look, and koa is so special. Koa has so much meaning, strength, a lot of mana behind
Yes.
it, and it's just a beautiful wood color and grain to it. And then having that Hawaiian scroll on the backside just adds that extra element of being very special.
And this is about a 1 inch size. So it's a nice piece. You can see, you're going to really be able to see it. And it's a nice weight. It feels very expensive if you're gifting it to someone. I think you're going to like the fact that it's got this beautiful rope chain as well. And, I think just the meaning behind, like Wayne was saying, for the koa, and a lot of people feel that it's very lucky to also wear and gift koa pieces. And then, of course, the scroll design is always a favorite here in Hawaii. And your people, your family members on the mainland, I think it's very limited any access they might have to koa pieces or scroll. And so for them to get something like this as a gift, or if you're watching from the mainland and you want to order for yourself, definitely you can do that because it is free shipping.
Now, this has so much meaning. If you're looking for a gift that pretty much says it all, this is that gift. Because not only the shape of the heart, but the koa and the Hawaiian scroll, it has Hawaiiana all over it, but it's a beautiful piece that has a lot of symbolism. And we don't use koa, we use koa that's reclaimed.
Yes.
So
From
it's
the Big Island.
From the Big Island. So we make sure that it's sustainable koa that is being used in these pieces, but it's just, it says a lot. And
Well,
it has a lot of meaning.
Nowadays it's funny because you can look up on the computer almost anything. So if you wanted to look up the meaning of koa, you can look that up and find out information.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that
right.
you don't even have to. I mean, when you think about it, nowadays, there's no wonder anymore. You don't have to sit
Right.
there and wonder, oh, I wonder about this or I wonder about that. I mean, I remember as a kid sitting for hours outside playing. That doesn't happen anymore,
Right,
by the way.
right.
And just wondering about certain things. Now you could just Google it. It's like, what is that series of stars up there? I wonder what it could be. And then your
Right.
imagination, and then you Google it, and oh, that's Orion's belt. I like not knowing about certain things
Right.
sometimes.
Well, it's interesting that you can find almost anything you want to find on the computer and just
Whether it be fake or not.
I guess that's the
Sometimes.
hardest
That's
part.
the hard part. At least when you talk to people, they were hopefully in a reliable source, or they had that knowledge and they were passing it on and imparting it to you. But now, sometimes when you look up something,
Right.
it's not necessarily true, which
Right.
can be a bad thing
Yeah.
too. So,
But I just remember the days when we had our encyclopedias, and that was pretty magical because you felt like any question you had, anything you want to look up, you could go to one of those books and find it.
yeah, but you had like 20 volumes or 20
I know,
different
but that's
books.
what I mean. You knew you could never.
It took forever.
You could never read all of it or find all
Yes.
of it, but all that knowledge was in there.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I wish I still had that.
And
but
then
I
a-
know it'd be outdated.
even going to a library with that whole experience was fun. We
Yes.
actually went to a very cool library in Korea that was in a mall
Right.
that was several stories high. The books, we actually saw it in one of the Korean dramas that we were watching, and we were like, let's go check out this library that we saw in one of the dramas. But anyway, back to koa wood. We try and feature pieces also, I didn't talk about, that match with other pieces. So this is a piece
Yeah.
that matches with other pieces that you might have in your collection. And we do have a lot of koa wood
Right.
pieces that we featured in the past.
Well, it makes it different from just a sterling silver piece, but then you have the scroll design, which makes it elevated.
Well,
and
sometimes,
special.
yeah, I mean,
Right.
let's say you wanted to go out and you wanted to have a little more bling and
Right.
dress it up, then you wear
Right.
that reverse side, the
Right.
koa wood, the Hawaiian scroll side.
But then, for us, the koa wood is so special, and so gifting it to someone is also very special. And in the Hawaiian language, then the koa actually means the brave, bold, and fearless, which
Oh, I should be wearing that.
I find that very empowering, and you feel very gifted to be wearing something so special with so much significance and so much meaning. So I think that it's a nice piece to give to someone, as well as, we always say treat yourself. But it's funny because Wayne and I, we always think, hey, it's a twofer, it's great, you get the reverse, you get to wear it on either side you want, even if it flips while you're wearing it, it looks nice. But it's something we never thought of, that when we send it to you, we have to decide when we put it in the box Are we going to have the koa side up, or are we going to have the scroll side up?
That's right. Yeah, and usually if I know the person, I usually do, and they're a local person. It really actually depends on the personality. So if they're more of a Hawaiian scroll type person that likes, you know, some flourishes and things like that, then I'll put on the Hawaiian scroll. Or if they buy a lot of Hawaiian scroll jewelry, I'll put the Hawaiian scroll. If they buy a lot of koa jewelry, I put the koa side.
So we sent a reversible piece to someone. It was actually one of our fish hooks, and we put the scroll side up. So he received it, and then he sent us a text message, and he said, I think you sent the wrong piece. It's a scroll piece.
I think it was more like, you sent the wrong piece. It wasn't, I think. It's, you sent the wrong piece. Send me the right piece.
So then I said, okay, before we send you the, you know, another hook, can you double check, send us a photo, and can you flip to the other side? And then he wrote back, oh, my bad.
Thumbs up.
Because he flipped it over.
Right.
Looking for Hawaii-inspired items at affordable prices? Watch Showcase Hawaii at 6:30 a.m., 3 p.m., and 12:30 a.m. every day on Spectrum Channel 1016. We get so many requests for a classic pearl.
Tons.
Something that you can wear or give that's going to be something someone loves to wear all the time.
You could dress it up or down.
Right.
So yes, you can wear it all the time. And we know you love your pearls to match. So we're offering this in gold-plated over sterling silver or sterling silver. So what you see on the screen right now is the gold-plated. And look at that solitaire CZ in the middle.
I
It's
really like
pretty.
that. It's the perfect size that it just complements the pearl. And this is a freshwater pearl.
It is.
And it's a very nice size. It's 8
Yeah,
millimeter.
it's about 8 millimeter.
Right.
And if you haven't been watching, which you should be watching, a couple shows back we featured a hoop earring. This would go really good with that pearl hoop earring.
Right.
It's
That's
a
the other
perfect
thing.
match.
We always get people saying, well, I bought these earrings and I want a pendant to match. Or I got the pendant and I want the earrings. But we always talk about creating and curating a collection. And that's also a great way to give gifts, because you buy one and then you start gifting other pieces of jewelry that are going to be able to coordinate, complement, or together or alone.
And speaking of which, we have a buy two special.
Okay, that's always
actually
great.
Made me do that because you said, well, somebody might want to buy a gold one and a silver one.
Right.
So let's give them a deal, and it's a deal.
Well, we have a lot of customers who like to dress up. And again, you can see the size. We always like to do this against the ruler.
It's about a half an inch.
Right. And then, it's just that perfect size, I think, to wear with everything. And as far as the buy two special, it's because sometimes people are on the phone with us saying, I can't decide.
Well,
I don't know which one.
It is a hard decision because they're most,
Right.
I mean, most people love one or the other, but
Right.
when they see it side by side on the screen, they think, oh, maybe I should get, both.
Well-
or maybe they know somebody that
Right.
likes the silver one and they want to match.
Right.
So,
Well, if you're someone that only wears a certain, like just gold or just silver,
well, you need to get over that.
I really,
if you're that somebody, you need to get over it.
I really want to encourage you to try.
Yes. Get out of your comfort
try
zone.
it with different color outfits. Try it, where you just have your open neckline against your skin. You're going to see that each one complements you in a different way.
And they do I think they give off a different energy.
Yeah.
The gold gives off a certain energy, the silver gives off a certain energy. And when you're wearing it, you can really feel it. But you can see on the screen, we try and show you how it's hanging or how it will hang and the movement. So the pendant goes through that solitaire setting. And that setting has a puka behind it to let light in. And you can really see the different facets of the cubic zirconia solitaire stone there. It's very beautiful. It's complemented with that 8mm freshwater white pearl. And we just can't say enough about this. This is going to be super popular.
Well, it's amazing the detail, like you said, on the back side of the CZ, the cubic zirconia. There is that puka, which lets in that light and just helps to add to that sparkle, just the brilliance that you see normally in a diamond. But I'm telling you, they've improved so much. These cubic zirconias are very advanced to where
you can't even tell.
You can't even tell, which makes me wonder, why spend if you can get something affordable that looks just like the real thing.
And nobody's going to ask you.
Or they shouldn't.
Well, nobody is going to.
And you can answer however you want.
Yes. Nobody's going to go up and ask you, is that real or not? And just if...
It is real. It's a real cubic zirconia stone.
That's true. This is a shot of the front and the back. So it's a nice solid piece of sterling silver that is the setting.
Right.
And then you can see it's stamped 9.25, which you want.
And it is adjustable. You can see the links on the chain. So the clasp, you can clasp it wherever you want. Wherever, sometimes like if you're wearing a turtleneck, maybe you want it to be a little longer. If you're wearing an open or a V-neck or scoop neck, maybe you want it a little higher. And also we have people saying, well, I'm going to buy it for someone who's a little younger or someone who's a little more petite. And so they might want the chain to be shorter. This is where the adjustable really works great because you're not quite sure where they would want to wear it, or it gives them the option for different looks.
I also want to point out, try it a little shorter, try it a little longer, try it in the middle, because when you do that, it gives the piece a whole different feeling, like it's a new piece, because the look is so different between having it high or having it low. And you want to, have fun with it and test it out. But this is, we were talking earlier, a classic piece. Well, we hope you were able to get in on one of these great deals today.
The ordering process is so fast and so easy, so log on to showcasehawaii.tv.
Thanks for watching.
Bye for now.